You're listening to World of Empowerment Radio, your station for practical spirituality in a changing world. And here are your hosts, Aingeal Rose and Ahonu.
Hi, I am Ahonu, and on behalf of my lovely wife and twin flame, Aingeal Rose, I welcome you to this short tribute to our dear friend, visionary and pioneer in futurism, John L. Petersen. By now, you will probably have heard the sad news that John passed away on August 20th, 2025, after a brief illness. Even though he had spoken openly and publicly about his condition, his leaving us still feels sudden, and the loss is profound. It's difficult to capture in words the depth of John's impact. He was not only a futurist, he was a very rare visionary who could see beyond what most believed to be possible. Where others worked to patch old systems, John dared to imagine an entirely new world. And he often asked, what would it look like if we started fresh, if we built a world that truly serves humanity from the ground up? That was the gift of John Petersen. He challenged us to think differently, to see beyond limitations, and to embrace possibility with courage. His vision merged itself perfectly with our own world of empowerment, a platform of sovereign beings, a conscious community of enlightened souls, whose divine duty it is to give to the dreams of others, and to share the awareness and expansion of consciousness with others. I was blessed with having the privilege of working with John as the webmaster of the Arlington Institute. Indeed, it was why Aingeal Rose and I have not been as consistent with posting content as we should be, because the work of the Arlington Institute was so important. I inserted all the upcoming events for the website. I uploaded streams of content and graphics, responded to every inquiry, and managed countless pieces of the day-to-day website maintenance. And behind the scenes, I defended the site against thousands upon thousands of relentless bot attacks, a flood of pressure that, frankly, never stopped. Why? Because John was never afraid to poke the bear. He confronted entrenched powers and ideas head on, provoking deep thought and inspiring change. And my job was to make sure his voice reached the world through the Arlington Institute website, no matter what. But beyond his brilliance, John brought warmth, humour, and the gift of true friendship. He had a way of making you feel seen, valued, and part of something much bigger. Many of you will remember him from the transition talks held live and live streamed from Berkeley Springs, West Virginia, or through the Arlington Institute's many programs that brought brilliant minds together to ask hard questions about our future. Minds like Greg Braden, Penny Kelly, Frank Jacob, Dr. David Martin, and many others. And at the core of it all was John's message of hope, his unwavering belief that even as old systems collapse, new worlds are possible and worth building. In honour of that legacy, the Arlington Institute asked me to create a short video, a collection of moments where John expresses that same hope in his own words. Please take a moment now to listen directly from John himself.
In a time of uncertainty, when the world seems to teeter on the edge of chaos, one voice reminds us, the future is not something that happens to us, it's something we create together.
In honor of John L. Petersen, with heavy hearts and deep gratitude, we remember John L. Petersen, visionary founder and president of the Arlington Institute. We love this man. He touched our lives. He changed our lives. And we are deeply blessed to have known and loved someone so rare and courageous. The world is shifting, and John saw it coming. With your continued support, we will carry his torch forward. The Arlington Institute team.
I'm John Petersen from the Arlington Institute. I'm a futurist. I have been for 30 years. I'm a professional futurist. There are not too many of us around that study the future in a systematic and almost full-time way. Written 3 books about the kind of techniques and approaches to thinking about the future. Done a whole bunch of different kinds of things, all about how to look at the future. What's coming is on our horizon is nothing less than extraordinary. And it's really quite fundamental to who we are as human beings. And it's unlike anything any of us have ever experienced before. In fact, you could argue that it's unlike anything that's ever happened in recorded history. And so it's a really, really, really big deal.
Let me ask you this. Looking back at your life's work, what do you hope your legacy will be? And what's one idea you'd like to leave people with thinking about the future? Where should their mind be?
Well, what I would like people to think about is what I've just said, and that is that we have a limited amount of time, measured in months, literally, in order to start to build the framework, the basic architecture for a new way of living. Otherwise, we get locked, for lots of reasons that are easily explainable, you get locked into this dystopian track that's going in quite a different kind of way that has amazing kind of downstream implications if you listen to some of the sources that talk about that. And so the most important thing is, I mean, really good things. Maybe the aliens come and clean us up and give us a ride, take us to somewhere else. If that's the case, then it doesn't make any difference. But if it isn't the case, then you better cover yourself over this one scenario, and that's that we got to. And the way to do that is to build a new world, and the basis for a new world. So that's really the most important thing. And out of that, by the way, are the likelihood of new countries and other kind of things coming downstream. And well, hey, how about let's build a new country that's built around these whole new principles and these other kind of things. That'd be something to leave as a legacy, I think. I believe in people. I believe in our ability to adapt, to care, to imagine, and to build. The world is changing fast. AI, technology, even our understanding of consciousness. But these are tools. It's up to us to use them wisely to create a world that is more loving, more just, more beautiful. I've been thinking the last couple of days about what the purpose of life is. There's something new that's emerging, and it is really quite different than anything we've learned before. And so what you have to do is be open and permeable to the new ideas and be willing to change and move yourself down that space. You've got to have a really good kind of sense of yourself and of purpose and hope, you know, that you look down the road and you get to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and that there's something really cool that's coming downstream. Because if you don't, the mainline media and the rest of the world is going to try to convince you the whole thing's going to hell in a handbasket. And from their point of view, it really is. And therefore, you really need somebody strong to tell you what to do, like the government or something like that. You don't use the opportunity to move into a new space, build a new perspective about the reality, and see the world and the possibility in a new way. See the new world that might emerge out of all of this, and be able to kind of change and morph yourself to be able to deal with that. Then you're going to have a really hard time with all of this. And what this means is that no matter what is presented to us in front of us, that path has got to be defined by hope. It's all an opportunity. It's kind of like saying, are you going to change? Are you going to see the world differently? Are you going to learn something differently? Or are you going to fold your arms and you're going to say, oh, I don't know about this, and you get afraid and you go backwards and try to stay connected to the things that gave you comfort in the past? And so it's an extraordinary kind of opportunity to just go with this thing, surf into a new space. But yeah, you got to know that that's where it's going. You have to have some sense of hope about where this is all going, and that's what we're going to try to build. So I hope you'll stay with us, and if you like this, and I hope you'll pass it on to some other friends, this little blog, and point them to it, and punch the button and say that you like this, and all of those kinds of things, and I'll see you next time.
I would now like to read a poem written by Rick McGow for John Petersen. Today, as we celebrate his life, we invite you to listen with our hearts. The words you are about to hear are offered as though carried across the veil, John's spirit reaching back to us, reminding us that love endures, vision expands, and the future is already unfolding. My friends, my friends, my friends, my excitement cannot be contained. Oh, and how far this expanse extends. I wish you were with me now to see through my eyes. This place is so boundless, so inviting. Here there are no goodbyes. It is difficult to express in human terms the joy I have here. There is only love in this radiant home, never a place for fear. Please do not be saddened for me. I have finally arrived in that space I always spoke about. It is vibrant, luminous, and alive, and I am embraced by family and friends beyond doubt. Your thoughts, healings, and prayers, carried as energy through the ether, helped me in my transition. I am overwhelmed with compassion by your loving transmission. While I come to you now as John Petersen, that is only one aspect of my higher self. There is so much more than the single expression of myself. From the human perspective, I know it seems I left too soon. And if you had asked me then, I too would have said, I don't wish to leave this room. But remember when I said, you don't know what you don't know. I see now the larger picture, and yes, that is so. We are so much more than the physical form we wear in third density. But oh, what a wisdom-filled creation with the emotions we share in that diversity. You all touched my life in some special way, and I hope I expressed that enough to each of you. We cannot reach perfection without imperfect times that create our emotional blue. Yet we can learn from our emotions, our events, our experiences, our excursions, so that we may look at ourselves and choose only the best of our versions. I am not gone from you, my friends. The energy that created universes along with you and me can never be destroyed, only transformed into new ways to see. I know that most cannot feel it, but a part of that energy is also here with mine. Like-minded energy knows no location, only existence in the infinite living divine. I give you my deepest expression of thank you to all I have met. We are not finished with our vision of the future, so do not fret. As that futurist I once called myself in third density, I have seen it, and it is brighter than your current imagination. Continue, imagine, intend, release the fight, and the new human in the new world will emerge in perfection. As I leave you now, hold my hand, feel my energy, see our future. Know that I will always be with you in some version, in some manner, as part of your adventure. It is never a single moment or a single soul that births our shared reality. But together, hand in hand, we will bring forth the future, shifting like a silver banner for all to see. In love, gratitude, and appreciation, I leave you now as the human known as John Petersen, whose agreed time completed.
John often reminded us that transition is not something to fear, but something to embrace. He believed we are living in a rare and pivotal moment, one where we're not bound to repair broken systems, but free to dream and design the new. That was John's gift, to light the way forward, even when the moment seemed darkest. And while we deeply mourn his absence, we also celebrate the incredible life he lived, the adventures, the ideas, the laughter, and the friendships that defined his journey. And to honour that, our friend at ISNIX created a beautiful tribute, a music video set to images and moments of John's life. Through music and memory, it tells the story of a man who touched countless hearts and shaped a movement for the future.
In the heart of America, on a July day in '43, John Lawrence Petersen came to be.
Hello, my friends. Welcome. It's nice to have you with us.
With wires and waves in his young hands, an amateur radio boy dreaming grand. From high school sparks to engineering halls, he built his path, answering destiny's calls. A pilot's wings in the Navy's blue. Through Vietnam storms and Persian Gulf true, he soared the skies, built his own plane, a man of action, breaking every chain. Oh John, visionary so bright, he charted the stars in the dead of night. From wild cards dealt to worlds yet unseen, you warned of the chaos, the shifts in between. With dying by your side since 67's vow, and son John Carter, your pride even now. You wove love and legacy, strong as the tide, a tribute to you where your spirit abides. The world remembers, your work ever gleams. John L. Petersen, the weaver of dreams.
I mean, this is really big stuff.
29 years in service embrace, from carriers' decks to the White House's grace. National security strategies bold, twice near the helm his Navy's story told. Campaigns for presidents, conventions roar, an adjunct professor opening doors. Then entrepreneurs fire in sales and in stone, real estate visions, conventions he'd own. Rock concerts echoed, radio spun, a life full of ventures under the sun. Oh John, visionary so bright, you charted the stars in the dead of night. From wild cards dealt to worlds yet unseen, you warned of the chaos, the shifts in between. With Diane by your side since 67's vow, and son John Carter, your pride even now. You wove love and legacy, strong as the tide, a tribute to you where your spirit abides. The world remembers, your work ever gleams. John L. Petersen, the weaver of dreams. think tank for tomorrow's leaving none behind. Books like The Road to 2015, awards in your way.
It's always really kind of fun.
Out of the blue, surprises you'd break. Transition talks in Berkeley Springs glow. Community resilient, emergencies flow. Woodworking hands, acrobatic flight. A fellow of futures in art and sciences light. Boards you chaired, global stages you graced. A Lindbergh spirit in innovation's chase. Aingeal shadow, a healing path trod, holistic and hopeful with faith in his God. August 20th came at 82's end, in War Memorial's arms, a peaceful ascent. Yet your echoes remain in the networks you built, in Morgan County's waves, no silence, no guilt. Carrier fire, when new eras begin. Old John, visionary so bright. You charted the stars in the dead of night, from wild cards, Delta worlds yet unseen. You warned of the chaos, the shifts in between. Strong as the tide, a tribute eternal in you we confide. The world remembers, your great work endures. John L. Petersen, the future is yours.
It's unprecedented in human history, in recorded history at least. And it's a wonderful time to be a futurist.
So sing this song far, let it ripple and rain, for a man who saw tomorrow and gave it wings. In Berkeley Springs waters, his spirit flows free. John Lawrence Petersen, remembered eternally.
I'm John Petersen from the Arlington Institute, and it's nice to have you with us.
There will never be another John Petersen. His voice, his vision, his fearless drive were uniquely his. But the seeds he planted live on in the Arlington Institute, in those who shared conversations with him, and in all of us who carry his quest and his dreams into the future. So today we say thank you. Thank you, John, for your brilliance, your courage, your friendship, and your relentless belief in the possibilities of humanity. We will miss you, we will honour you, and we will carry your torch forward. Blessings from myself, Ahonu, and from Aingeal Rose.
This is a really, really, really big deal.
Listening to Aingeal Rose and Ahonu on World of Empowerment Radio, your station for practical spirituality in a changing world.